a game we have on our hands tonight from the Low Country in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. We're at Patriots Point. It's the Charleston Battery playing host to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tonight's match is presented by Charleston County Parks. With the former MLS midfielder Jamie Watson, I'm Josh Eastern. The standings in the Eastern Conference. Right now, the Charleston Battery still trying to chase down Louisville City, but Louisville and Charleston, the only two teams that have clinched playoff berths up to this point, while the Tampa Bay Rowdies trying to cut into that 10-point gap between them and the Charleston Battery. This is the second matchup of 2024 between Charleston and Tampa Bay. The first matchup in St. Pete, it went great for Charleston at the start, and then it all went wrong.
First 13 minutes, it's 2-0 to the visitors, and you're thinking this is a dream start for Ben Perriman's side. But then after the half, Tampa made the adjustments. They started getting into wide areas, getting crosses into the box. They had some really good finishing, and it was a massive comeback, both for the 3 points and for the confidence of this group at that point in the season.
The players to watch for the Battery, it is this two-headed monster of Marcanic and Myers, who could set a record for most goals scored by a duo in league history.
And it's very rare that you have a dynamic duo like this where it forces teams to have to give equal respect to both players. If you put too much pressure on Nick Marcanic, then you've got MD Myers, who's shown his ability to get in behind and score on his own. It keeps both the center backs honest, and it keeps them mindful of where both forwards are instead of just one, which we usually see for most teams.
It's Marcanic and Myers for the Battery. For the Tampa Bay Rowdies, it is Cal Jennings and Manuel Arteaga to spearhead this attack.
And two different player profiles. Cal Jennings is the runner. He will work hard. He'll chase things down. He'll create his opportunities through hard work. Arteaga, when he gets in the box, he is a stone-cold finisher. Can catch on the half volley, quick turns. Two different types of players, but they play off of each other so well, and that's been causing problems for teams all season long.
28 combined goals between Jennings and Arteaga. It's 38 combined goals between Marcanic and Myers. We have a tasty fixture on our hands tonight. We could have some history in the cards. It's the Charleston Battery and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's presented by Charleston County Parks. We'll have lineups and first kick on the way.
Is for the way you look. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you.
A perfect night at Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Tonight's match is presented by Charleston County Parks. Time to look at tonight's starting lineups. We start with the Charleston Battery for Ben Perriman. It's two changes, but everything is about that front line for this Charleston side.
One of the most scary front three in the entirety of the championship. They get the support in the anchor of Archer and Smith as the center backs, solidifying the back. They work their way forward. The front three, keep an eye on Torres, number 80, because there's so much emphasis on Myers and Marcanic. Torres gets room to operate underneath the two of them, and he plays provider for both of those two players ever so well from the number 10 position.
for head coach Robbie Nielsen and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Also 2 changes coming off that 2-1 win against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
The big key for the Rowdies is going to be winning the midfield. Ben Bender will start on the right side, but he has the ability to drift into the middle, and when he does, that could cause an unbalance. Bender's positioning is going to be so important for the Rowdies to be on the road in moments when they're under pressure to regain possession and link the back to the front for the Rowdies.
We are ready to go. The sun is setting. It is mid-70s. It is an ideal night for soccer in the Low Country. And both teams wearing their familiar colors. Abdu Njai is our referee tonight. He will have the whistle. Cal Jennings will get the first kick tonight. It's the second matchup of 2024 between the Rowdies and the Battery, and it could potentially be a playoff preview if both of these teams stay where they are in the standings and then both teams win their opening playoff match. There is the whistle, and we are underway tonight between the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Charleston Battery. Tampa Bay coming in off the 2-1 win against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They conceded an early goal in that game last weekend before Manuel Arteaga came up with his 15th goal of the season. Leo Fernandez, the club legend, scored his second goal of the season. They salvaged the 3 points coming from behind. Wasn't the same luck, though, for the Charleston Battery, as head coach Ben Pierman put it in the 2-0 loss to the Switchbacks. We were pathetic, we stunk. Those are direct quotes. So they're back at home. They love to play at home, and this is where they have played some of their best football this year.
With that bad performance in mind, it's going to be the first 5 minutes for the Battery wanting to be the aggressors, wanting to come out and have a response to their poor performance against the Switchbacks. Look for them to try to press and to try to turn the Rowdies in behind early.
Eddie Manjoma getting the start tonight again. Came over mid-season from Phoenix Rising. Has been a regular contributor for the Rowdies. Played all the way into the corner. Graham Smith looking for the clearance, and Tampa Bay trying to keep Charleston pinned in here early. There's Nate Worth, who plays it forward for Cal Jennings, who's battling in the middle. There's a whistle and a free kick coming for the Rowdies 90 seconds in.
All throughout the night, it's going to be a battle in the middle of the park, and I think the Rowdies have the ability to be able to weather some of the storms if they can keep the ball moving quickly, if they can win some of the secondary balls. That's going to be so important for them. It's something they need to do early, and because they won this second ball in this attacking phase, now they get this set-piece opportunity.
Adam Grinwis organizing. He was given a red card in that game earlier this year in St. Pete. Nate Worth standing over the dead ball for the Rowdies. Worth delivers, bouncing around, falls for Cal Jennings. His shot blocked. A sliding challenge will get this out. It's Tampa Bay who can try to keep this in play. Blake Bodley was trying to track it down. It trickles out for a throw-in. Chapman trying to move it out wide. It's Juan David Torres all by himself. Torres trying to go for the cheeky chip and over the bar.
It was absolutely on. This is not a wrong decision. It's just poor execution. Early on, we knew that the Battery were going to want to try to push forward quickly. This off of a throw and quickly gets switched from one side to the other. This is where chip needs to happen, right there. He just takes that extra half second, and the pressure that he was feeling from the Rowdy defender forces David Torres to strike that a little bit quicker than he'd prefer. And that's how he's able to get under it, put too much on it.
Time for our keys to the game tonight. What do you got, Jamie?
Charleston, that response we're talking about, it's about dictating the pace of play. If they need to push the pace, they need to be able to do that. If they need to be able to slow it down, if they get a lead and try to draw Rowdies out, that's what they need to do. But for the Rowdies and the visitors, they need to be efficient when they get in the final third. Set piece opportunity that bounces around, they need to be first to react. Arteaga is very good at that. When they get their opportunities, there may not be a plethora of them, but they have to be efficient if they want to get a result tonight.
It's all the way back. Juan David Torres trying to put some pressure on Jordan Farr. Collected in the middle by Cal Jennings, who goes to ground and tries to move it out wide. Manjoma up against Nathan Dos Santos, who's back at his left back spot. He had filled in at center back while Leland Archer was out on international duty. But Dos Santos getting the start at outside back again tonight.
This game has such a quick pace to it. A little over 4 minutes in, and you're seeing everybody press, everybody close down. There's a lot of exuberance to it, so you have to make sure that you're clinical. And if you're being pressed, simplicity is key. 1 and 2 touches, get the ball off your foot. Don't try to do too much when the game is this fast, this quick.
And here comes Mark Segbers, a player that Ben Pierman said wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. And he's getting into the attack here. This is rolled forward. The return ball, it's Markanek. Every time Markanek gets on the ball around the 18-yard box, thinking about the record he could break tonight. It's moved out wide and now cut back. Chipped up back post. Torres scores! Juan David Torres opens the scoring 5 minutes in. 1-0 Battery.
The Battery needed a response. After a poor loss last week, they wanted to be able to come out in the first 5 minutes and be the aggressors. And they get their reward. Keep an eye on David Torres as his second ball is picked up. Because the Rowdies are playing with 3 in the back, when David Torres pulls off, this is where he's able to get the space from Manjoma. The 3 center backs, Manjoma for the Rowdies, he's supposed to tuck over to help, but then Juan David Torres pulls off, and because he's able to get his body set early and he controls it, he takes a little bit off of the finish to be able to get the accuracy. That's how he's able to keep it on target to the far post. That is a tremendous finish.
Battery goal with a sparkling finish is brought to you by Diamonds Direct. And sparkling that was for Juan David Torres, taking that on the volley. His first goal since August 31st. It was a goal that salvaged a point for Charleston on the road against San Antonio. What a year it has been for Juan David Torres. His first year in the USL Championship, his first year in the United States, after starting his career with Millonarios in his home country of Colombia. Our injury report is presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Palma and Lasso, the 2 center backs, they are out for the season for their respective sides. Here's Nate Worth now for Tampa Bay. Met by Segbers. Connect with Cal Jennings. This deflects forward. Jennings is onto it, and he fires the shot well wide. He went for all power there.
Jennings going for power is the reason this goes horribly wide from this position. The ball's going to fall fortuitously to Jennings. Now he needs to collect himself. At this point, you're in. You know it. Slow yourself down. He's the wrong side of Juan David Torres, yet he rushes the effort. If Jennings takes half a beat, he's able to compose himself. He's able to take a little bit off of that effort and go to the far post to keep it on target.
Cal Jennings, 13 goals this year to go along with 2 assists. The best years that he has had in his pro career. A foul here, and it looks like a yellow card coming for Freddie Kleeman.
It's the right decision. Kleeman can have all of the complaints that he wants, but this is a tackle from behind that is going to endanger the player's safety, and MD Myers did a wonderful job of getting his body in between. Keep an eye on Myers. Now he's in between the ball. That's where Kleeman extends in reach. It's because Myers steps across Kleeman, and he's in between Kleeman and the ball. That extension is going to get the center back on a yellow inside 8 minutes. If I'm a forward, I know to go at Kleeman on the dribble. The second you push it beyond him, Kleeman has to make a decision to let you go or pull you down and risk getting a second yellow.
Not necessarily the best start for the Tampa Bay Rowdies tonight, conceding inside of 5 minutes, and now a center back on a yellow card inside of 8 minutes. Here's MD Myers. Connecting with Arturo Rodriguez, who gets the start in the midfield tonight. A lot of rotation in that midfield from Ben Pierman. As Jay Chapman switches the point of attack for Mark Segbers. Marcanic feels some contact and earns a free kick.
This is the backhanded compliment you get as being the Golden Boot leader on the brink of history in the USL Championship. Every opportunity defender gets, they're going to leave a little something extra on you. Nick Marcanic has felt that all season long, yet he's continued to push through it.
4 of the top 5 leading goal scorers in the USL Championship on display tonight. Myers at 5th, tied with Jennings. And then Manuel Arteaga in 3rd spot. Wilson Harris, he's currently in 2nd spot, 9 goals behind first place Nick Marcanic, who is 25. Maybe this could be his moment. 1 more goal and he will break that record set by Cameron Lancaster and Haji Berry. Rodriguez delivers. Couldn't get it by the first man. It's collected though by Chris Allen, and Charleston can go again. Chipped forward. Trying to connect with Graham Smith in the middle. Tampa Bay able to get this one out. Collected again. Some pushing and shoving there in the middle. And eventually the whistle comes. It was a late whistle. Will go against Charleston and give it back to the Rowdies.
With the Rowdies being under this much pressure, sometimes to alleviate that, let's just turn the ball around a couple of times. And then that should give you some more space to operate to try to get those secondary balls in the middle of the park.
Here's Manjoma. Manjoma striding forward. Just too hot to handle for Manuel Arteaga. Former Phoenix Rising teammates Eddie Manjoma and Arteaga. This night, all the focus will go to Nick Marcanic, and rightfully so, but this is a game between 2 of the top teams in the East outside of Louisville City. It's a potential playoff preview. It's a derby. They call it the No Quarter Derby. That name came from the supporters. There's a lot more on the line than just that history. That's saying something.
When you talk about the Battery and the Rowdies, you're talking about teams that expect to be fighting for the Eastern Conference Championship, for the right to be able to play for a USL Championship title. So this match is not only a playoff match that you could expect and anticipate seeing, but a deep round playoff match. It's already got the feel to that 11.5 minutes in. I expect both players, or both sets of players, to be able to play a little bit more urgency and understanding just how important every moment is and how fine the margins are.
Charleston has been a tough nut to crack for oppositions here at Patriots Point. 11-1-1. Second most points in the USL Championship on their home field. Charleston has had a high line of confrontation here early as Charleston's looking to build through it. Trying to win it back in the middle. It's a scrap for the loose ball that Jennings comes away with. It was poked away from Jennings. Segbers is bumped from behind and earns the free kick for Charleston.
There was a good up, back, and through pass sequence where the ball could have been played forward to Marcanic up top, and instead it was another pass in the middle of the park. That's what Tampa wants. They want these short, sharp passes they can get numbers around in the middle of the field.
Continuing on, here's Arturo Rodriguez. Nearly falls for Jay Chapman. Now Chris Allen feeding Nick Marcanic. Marcanic takes him to the end line. He turns it back. The back heel pass to try to spring Allen into the attack. The shot deflected out of play. Doherty getting in the way. It's a corner kick on the way for Charleston.
Every time Nick Marcanic gets inside the box, you're just feeling the anticipation rising. This time, a really smart decision from Marcanic to understand the shot wasn't on from that tight angle to keep possession of it. That was a really astute decision.
This corner kick brought to you by the Pepper Law Firm, the official legal services partner of the Charleston Battery. And the goal scorer, Juan David Torres, the one who will take it. It's an in-swinging ball right on top of Farr, who got a fist to it. Charleston trying to keep it alive. Arteaga now Worth the headers away. Collected by Arturo Rodriguez, who gets it right back. Feeds it down the line for Jay Chapman. His cross floated back post. Flicked away and now collected by Nathan Dos Santos. And there was a whistle in there. And looks like a push in the back. It's hard to hear, you got the drums going. It's a good atmosphere.
It's a lovely atmosphere here. One of the most fun places to go if you have a bucket list of venues in the USL Championship. I highly recommend Charleston and Patriots Point as a place that you must go.
Chris Allen wins it back. Allen striding forward, sending it ahead for MD Myers, kick save. Jordan Farr making himself big at that near post. And now the Rowdies are looking to counter. Jay Chapman over there to break it up. And that's exactly what Ben Pierman told us this week. He covers so much ground because he's one of the fittest guys on the team.
It's such a comfort having a center back that you understand, knows the position so well, the way that Leland Archer does, but then also has the athletic ability to be able to cover some ground when mistakes happen from teammates. This is good from the battery. They're stretching out. Tampa's trying to clog the middle of the park, and so what Charleston is doing to combat that is going higher and wider.
Now over the top, Arturo Rodriguez cutting it back. Couldn't put it into the path of MD Myers, but it's a throw-in for the battery.
There's such an emphasis, I beg your pardon, from Tampa Bay of not letting Charleston play through them. But Charleston is being so smart in their approach to go around them.
Torres delivers, trying to switch the point of attack, and Marcanic will track it down. Marcanic trying to find a pass back. Charleston almost lulls you into sleep sometimes. They have the highest average possession in the USL Championship, 58.3%, and then they've also scored the second most goals. So something's working with all that possession, but then they can hit you over the top like that.
That's exactly how they're doing it in a variety of different ways. And what the battery are consistently doing is they're getting end product to this possession. There's very few opportunities where you see a ball whipped in like that.
Down the line, Dos Santos gets end line. Dos Santos! It was too close to Jordan Farr. And Farr wants to go quick. Looking to put it in the path of Manuel Arteaga. The back pass for Grinwis.
Charleston got their reward with the goal. Now it's on them to be able to continue to pass the ball around, draw the Rowdies out, and try to then pick out the moment when somebody doesn't do their defensive responsibility and get across. That's when you penetrate. For the Rowdies, this is fine. Keeping it in these positions are not necessarily going to hurt you, but when the moment happens, there's a visual cue, a bounce pass, or ball that bounces up as a pass comes to a player. That's when you go. A negative touch. Those are the visual cues that the Rowdies need to be able to try to drive forward and win the ball back.
Just 2 shots for Tampa Bay thus far, nothing on target. Charleston's been on the front foot so far, and they win it back in a good area. Chris Allen. Here's Dos Santos. Arturo Rodriguez flips it over the top. Dos Santos forced to turn it back for Juan David Torres. Segbers ahead for Chris Allen. Charleston probing this Tampa Bay back line. Torres runs through for Chapman. There's some contact there. Marcanic went down. The referee was right on top of it. Did not blow his whistle. And now it's Rodriguez. Arturo Rodriguez went for power, and Marcanic was all alone in the middle.
There was such a good movement in the box from Nick Marcanic, and Rodriguez, if he could do this all over again, would lay this off. Watch the movement in the box from Marcanic. He is going to play this ball. There's the knock, and when this ball wins back, Marcanic's in the middle of your screen. He's gonna stop. This needs to be squared back to Marcanic. Instead, Rodriguez takes that tight angle. It would take something spectacular to be able to get in behind.
Now it's a Pepper Law Firm corner kick. There is a player down still, Jordan Doherty. I think that's one that half the population will understand.
Just take your time. We've all been there.
Deep breaths in, deep breaths out.
Collective understanding from every individual on the field. Just take your time, pal. Good to see him up walking around.
Crowd in front of Jordan Farr. He got a punch to the last corner kick from the other side. Also an in-swinger.
Farr did get a hand to it, but it didn't look convincing. If I'm the battery, I'm going right back to that same ball, putting it right on MD Meyer's head right there by Jordan Farr.
Arturo Rodriguez delivers, and they do the exact same thing. And again, Farr able to get something on it. Some help from his teammates as well to get it out.
This is purposeful to go right inside the 6-yard box, and you get a combination of attacking players, defenders, the goalkeeper all colliding. It's trying to create chaos, and it's trying to create an opportunity where the ball deflects to go somewhere and it's first to react. Inside the first 20.5 minutes, we have not been able to see Tampa get on the ball and be able to put anything together. The key for Charleston was to dictate the pace, and they have done that successfully so far.
Juan David Torres, long switch of play, and it was too close to Jordan Farr. Head coach Ben Pierman said, we needed a response today. We've seen that in the first 20 minutes, and we had some hard days of training just to reinforce some of those principles and details that we want on the field.
Head coach Ben Pierman for the Charleston Battery will be delighted with the first 21 minutes. But the biggest thing for the Battery is now putting it together for 45 minutes at a time and then 90 minutes collectively.
Here's Jennings weaving his way through, tried to drop it off for Ben Bender, and cleared away by Grinwis. Out of play, a missed touch. Right now, Tampa Bay with just 24% of the ball. It has been all Charleston, and these fans enjoying what they're seeing here at Patriots Point. It's a great crowd on hand.
Charleston doing a wonderful job of making this field even bigger. I've been in that position where you're on the losing side of it and you're just having to chase shadows. This is really good from Charleston. This is the equivalent of a boxing match, just body blows right now. Not gonna knock out the Rowdies with this passing right here, but it is gonna put some wear and tear, and it's a little bit of defensive suffering physically, but also emotionally and mentally when you're chasing the ball and you can't seem to get a touch on it or any passes together.
2 weeks ago against Sacramento, Ben Pierman called it a lackluster first half against Sacramento Republic. They went down 1-0, they came back to win 2-1. They put a good 45 minutes together. Then last week, I think he probably just wants to put that one behind him. This has been a good start for them through this first quarter of the match. And now, like you said, can it be 90 minutes and put together a full game? Going to play this down the line. It hit off the back of the head of Bodily, and then Bodily went down, and there was a whistle. Robbie Nielsen, first season as Tampa Bay Rowdies head coach, his first season in the United States as a head coach as well. Time in Scotland and England as well as a head coach, was a pro for about 15 years. Here's Cal Jennings. Broken up, now picked up by Nate Worth and rolled out wide. Options to pick out in the middle. This comes end line, the cross deflected away and out for a throw-in.
There's Archer again. blocked the first one, was able to recover, get back to the near post, do his defensive due diligence. But that play all is because Cal Jennings goes back to midfield and is able to turn and drive. He gets in behind Chris Allen, the center midfielder for the Battery, and he does a smart, astute thing, does Jennings. He runs across Allen, so if Allen brings him down, he's most certainly going to see a booking. The alternative, he lets him go. The Rowdies get that opportunity.
Arteaga chested there in the corner. Segber's looking to get it out. Lewis Hilton picks it up. He can hit from distance. Big save from Gwynwis. Arteaga picks it up again, rolling it into the middle. It's cleared away. Boy, Hilton was running onto that one.
My goodness, the technique from Hilton as he strikes this is so good. Watch his body positioning. He's going to take this preparation touch, and because he's leaning forward, he's able to get everything on it. Take a look at it in just a moment as the attack builds again for the Rowdies.
Manjoma. Lewis Hilton forced back. Kleeman moving it out wide. Manjoma. Charleston just making it so difficult for Tampa Bay to get anything going. Played over the top. It's nearly a bad back pass, but it was Doherty who was able to recover. Battery matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. A whistle here, and maybe some frustration from Lewis Hilton as Rodriguez went down.
Hilton a moment ago showing us his offensive prowess, this time a little overzealous with the reaching in, trying to win it from behind. Big battle tonight is the middle of the park, and one name that we'll see later on, Battery fans will be delighted to see back on the bench, is Aaron Malloy. He's fit to go for a cameo appearance tonight, and the anticipation is that the idea is to try to get him ramped back up with some confidence and some match fitness to be able to get back in after sustaining a knee injury. He is arguably one of the best all-around players in the entire USL Championship. Charleston are doing ever so well with that battle in the middle of the park without arguably their most influential center midfielder.
Ben Pierman called Aaron Malloy one of the best players, if not the best player, in the USL Championship as it's turned over and moved out wide. Rivera coming forward. Rivera cutting it in. Rivera, saved by Grinwis. A couple of big stops now by Grinwis, and Rivera knows that was a golden chance.
Oh, baby, what a save this is from Adam Grinwis. Rivera is absolutely going to sell the fake. Watch the shoulder fake. Whoop! Cuts the space. He's trying to be clever and go back against the grain to the near post. Everybody's thinking, apart from Adam Grinwis, the goalkeeper, that this is going to be curled to the far post. If Grinwis cheats and he starts to lean to the far post, this is 1-1. That is wonderful goalkeeping from Adam Grinwis.
A Pepper Law Firm corner kick on the way for Tampa Bay. First corner of the night for the Rowdies. In swinging ball, back post, flicked away by Leland Archer. It's another Pepper Law Firm corner kick. Archer's such a crucial player to get back on that back line. Recently called into Trinidad and Tobago for their matches in CONCACAF Nations League, played 90 minutes against French Guiana.
A lot of times you have marking, but when you have a player like Leland Archer, you give him the free rein to go and find the ball. You actually leave him in a zonal marking, and you don't give him a defensive responsibility. You just let him go and track it and go try to win it.
Nate Worth playing it in, gets the return ball. Flag was up for offside. It went off of him anyway, and out for a goal kick.
Don't love that. Hilton came flying over, and if you're going to go short, Nate Worth has to give Lewis Hilton the ball that he can handle. He's absolutely fizzed it into him with a bouncing ball. Hilt's done ever so well to be able to try to keep that low and back towards Nate Worth, but he was in an offside position as he came back.
The Battery are back at Patriots Point on Saturday, October 5th as they take on Detroit City. Kickoff for that match is 4 Eastern, and tickets are available now via SeatGeek, the Battery's exclusive ticketing provider. Get your tickets now and save up to $10 per seat when you buy in advance. Here comes the Battery forward again, coming together, and no whistle. Play on.
Just a good passing sequence from the Battery. Their movement right now is causing all sorts of problems for the Rowdies. Rowdies right now need to get on the ball, and they need to just put passes together. You can get your rest on the ball by moving it quickly, but walking pace, taking 3, 4, 5 touches is not going to be that, and it's not going to be able to break down the Battery.
Chested down, it was too heavy off the chest of Dos Santos. Tampa Bay will look to circulate again. Tampa Bay just trying to get some time on the ball and quit the chasing that they've had to do so far in this game. Broken up. Rodriguez couldn't get it clean, and then couldn't feed Marcanic, who would have been almost cleared on goal. Kleeman looking to play through some pressure and finds an outlet. Rolled forward again, and now coming in field. Rivera taken off the ball by Chris Allen. Mark Segbers was there as well. As it's floated forward on Joma, the calm header back for Jordan Farr.
Inside the first 30 minutes, a little bit over 30 minutes, you notice the team that is controlling the pace of play is the one that's putting passes together, and the team that's trying to go long right now seemingly is the team that's chasing the momentum or chasing the pace of the game. You solve your problems with passing quickly and 1 and 2 touches, and whichever team, it's sort of been in the favor for the last 5 minutes or so of the Rowdies. That's because they're putting more passes together. That's how they can get back into this match and go and chase an equalizer.
The Tampa Bay Rowdies have lived in the attacking third this year. They have the most average accurate crosses per game at just under 7. They also have the most touches in the opposition box with 813. That is 95 more than second place. So for that to happen, they got to get on the ball and they got to get into attacking areas.
I saw you going back and counting all 800 of those touches as well, too.
I did.
Or on fingers and toes of all your friends around. Nothing gets by you, Josh.
Loaded forward again, a commanding header by Graham Smith, and out for a throw-in. Arteaga wants to go quickly, and he took too many yards. Nielsen, his voice heard by Abdu Njai, tonight's referee. Rolling it through the lines, and now on the turn, Rivera able to drive forward. Damian Rivera as it's moved out wide. Cut in field, still coming, the shot blocked. Still available, Ben Bender. Now Arteaga couldn't get a shot away. A lot of traffic right in front of goal. Arturo Rodriguez blocked down. Tampa Bay on the move again. Rivera, it's cut in field. And another good defensive play put in by Mark Segbers. Marcanic against Kleeman. Segbers moves it ahead and space to run into now for Charleston. Arturo Rodriguez collects in the corner. Myers, Marcanic awaiting in the middle. Rodriguez staying with it. Cut back for Torres. Torres the low cross in. Marcanic saved!
Oh my goodness.
Well, he's done it once this year. That would have been spectacular.
Would it surprise you?
No.
The record-setting goal would have been of the spectacular bicycle variety. When you're scoring goals at the clip Nick Marcanic is, you try things like this. This pops up, it's inventive, shows some ingenuity, and he almost pulled it off. That's confidence. Well, that tells me that's a striker that, as you'd expect, is just brimming with confidence anytime he's anywhere around goal. Good marauding run this is forward.
4 goals in Nick Marcanic's last 4 games. 2 hat tricks this year, including 1 in that stretch against Orange County. Doherty trying to weave his way through and earns a throw-in for the Rowdies. Just under 10 minutes to go until, or just over 10 minutes to go until halftime. Charleston on the board through Juan David Torres. His goal, the difference in the 5th minute. The assist going to Arturo Rodriguez. His 5th assist of the year. 5th goal for Torres. Hilton looking for a penetrating ball and turned over. The Battery will look to run. Here's Jay Chapman, forced to slow things down after Manjoma tracked back.
Juan David Torres and Nick Marcanic have switched sides, and that's given Juan David Torres so much time and space on the ball.
Torres coming in fields. Every green shirt back behind the ball right now for the Rowdies.
This comes in 2 passes. Dos Santos is open on the near side with lots of space.
Smith connects with Dos Santos. Hold in for Arturo Rodriguez. Sending this to the back post, and it was too tall. I think Torres may have lost that in the lights.
Quick switches right now, exactly what the Battery need. Tampa Bay are overcommitting in their defensive shifts, and the ball even missing out one of the center backs. You can go quicker to one of the wide backs, one of the outside midfielders. There's plenty of space for those players on the Battery to be able to get the ball, collect it, and be able to run at the outside backs of Tampa Bay.
Battery win it back immediately off of the throw-in. Charleston with just 3 losses in their last 14. They're in some good form right now. It comes into the middle! Marcanic for history! Nick Marcanic has made his mark! The single-season goal-scoring record in the USL Championship!
And just look what it means to Nick Marcanic. A player that's been unstoppable all season. And the way he takes this goal is indicative of how he's been scoring. Astute movement. MD Myers wins the battle physically. But Manjoma, as he tries to clear it, puts it right into the path. Now Marcanic sets his feet early, and watch how he gets his hips over it. This is how he drives through the middle of the ball. He stays over the top of it. One of the best techniques of any finisher this league has ever seen. Stands alone at the top. It's Nick Marcanic, clear and free at the top as the greatest goal scorer in regular season history.
That Battery goal with a sparkling finish brought to you by Diamonds Direct. Nick Marcanic His 26th regular season goal breaks the USL Championship single season record. Cameron Lancaster in 2018, Haji Berry in 2021. And now it's Nick Marcanic standing alone at the top. We talked to Ben Pierman about what this means for Nick Marcanic, and he says he's just taking it day by day. It's not like he just earned a move to Spain. His complete focus is right on this season, and what he's done is very, very special. Here's Marcanic trying to move it forward again. Dos Santos. Charleston moving that lead out to 2-0, just like it was in St. Pete before everything went wrong for the Battery. They look like they are up for this one. Out of play and a throw-in for Charleston. Marcanic weaving through again. Marcanic gets end line, deflecting, out of play. And another Pepper Law Firm corner kick coming for Charleston.
There's the man. 26 goals in a season, 30 games played, a staggering strike rate. The relief he must be feeling to know that history has been made. He can continue on being the team player that he's been all season long. He's been the benefactor of some wonderful work behind him. He'll be the first to admit it and give the credit everywhere else. My goodness, the league has never seen a better finisher in front of goal than Nick Marcanic. On the way he takes that record-breaking goal, nothing short of spectacular.
Corner kick coming here. The in-swinging ball headed away. Nobody up the field for Tampa Bay, so collected in by Mark Segbers. Sent back right through the middle, broken up. And now Arteaga. And Tampa Bay a chance to run. Here's Cal Jennings with Arteaga through the middle. Jennings cutting it in. Jennings has got it caught in his feet. Jake Chapman there to break it up in the end. Arturo Rodriguez broken up again. Chris Allen now for Charleston. Charleston has this game in their command, both how we've seen it with their possession and on the scoreboard now. Rodriguez cut back for Chapman, and Charleston is playing keep away right now from Tampa Bay. They can't get a touch on the ball. Smith rolls it forward. Manjoma, and all the way back for Jordan Farr. Here's Cal Jennings for Tampa Bay, and now Eddie Manjoma as it comes in field. A whistle here. And a free kick on the way for the Rowdies. Manjoma down on the surface.
Oh, this is going to make the Rowdies and Robbie Nielsen furious. Dos Santos commits the foul. Looks as though he's not going to get a booking. And Manjoma goes to the ground. The attack is stifled. There was advantage. You got to play on. Oh, Abdu Njai is going to go and give a yellow card to Dos Santos. But the advantage needs to go on. He's got to let him go and play forward.
Appeared there was a sub preparing for Tampa Bay at this very early juncture before halftime. Hearing Pacific Neon Gabiri will be entering for Eddie Manjoma.
This has to be a real issue, but Manjoma looked like he was fine in the build-up. You use this substitution, and it's one of your 3 substitution windows while we're on the cusp and on the brink of halftime. This tells me that Manjoma was asking to come off the field, because if you could have waited another 90 seconds plus some stoppage time, you wouldn't have had to burn one of the 3 windows.
So Pacific Neon Gabiri comes on his first season with Tampa Bay after spending last year with Valor in the Canadian Premier League. Jennings has not had space to work. He's had maybe one good chance in this game. Charleston is really putting the clamps down on that two-headed monster in the attack that we talked about in the open, Jennings and Arteaga.
We've hardly said Arteaga's name for Tampa all evening long. It's been Cal Jennings dropping back into deeper positions. Well, this is more about Charleston being able to keep possession and limiting the opportunities for Tampa. Tampa hasn't been able to establish a rhythm of play going forward. They've only gotten their opportunities when they've won the ball and quickly transitioned into attack.
Here's Dos Santos closing in on stoppage time in this first half. It's been a record-breaking first half for Nick Markanek, who's now the single-season goal-scoring leader in USL Championship history with 26 goals and counting. Still about a month left in this season. Dos Santos is brought down. Everybody's journey is different. For Nick Markanek, his second season with Charleston as we enter 2 minutes of stoppage time. Played a couple of years a year with Cincinnati, and in their second team was the second pick in the second round of the 2022 draft. And a proud Northern Illinois Husky is Nick Markanek as well, coming through the college game, coming here to Charleston where he has flourished and earning a move to Europe. Just shows you there's a lot of different ways to go about a career and where your career takes you.
No 2 players' path is the same or linear. There are peaks and valleys in everyone's career, and this is certainly the peak. And now Nick Markanek is at the top of the mountain as far as goals scored in a season in USL Championship. And I think we're still yet to see the best of him. I think that there's still another level to his game. That's high praise, and it's hard to ask a player to continue to set records year in and year out, but I think that Markanek could have surpassed this goal-scoring record 4 weeks ago. He had so many opportunities to be able to score goals, and a goal scorer will always tell you his favorite goal is the next one, and the biggest regret are the ones that you miss. And he's got that mentality in around the box, and he matches the technique with it.
Here comes Charleston again. Myers trying to get on the board.
Good turn.
And now here comes Tampa Bay. Striding forward is Damian Rivera. Ahead for Ben Bender, who's forced to slow his run. We could say bend his run.
I see what you did there.
Coming to the end line, here's Bender. Bender got caught in a tough spot. Coming off an injury on loan from Charlotte FC, but getting a good run of minutes here as this first half has come and gone. The Charleston Battery in complete command. And a 2-0 lead at the break. Markanek, his 26th goal, a single season record.
An impeccable first half as far as the Battery stand. They were able to dictate the pace of play. They were able to get the early goal. And the moment that everybody in the USL Championship was waiting for. Nick Markanek, of course he did it in textbook technique fashion. Stays over this, strikes through it cleanly, a wonderful goal. And Nick Markanek, 30 games to get 26 goals in the USL Championship regular season, better than anybody that's ever done it before. He's been unplayable, he's been unstoppable, and he stands alone at the top of the mountain.
You can see what it means to him and his teammates as well. We have hit the break here from Charleston. The Battery out in front. It's 2-0 over the Rowdies at the break.
Innovation, means training tomorrow's leaders in the latest technologies, because we know the next idea to change the future of medicine may well come from them. At the Medical University of South Carolina, innovation is who we are.
Hola.
¿Alguna otra cerveza?
No, Michelob Ultra.
Ok, ahora vuelvo.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. Like in 2005, when lottery proceeds helped purchase new school buses that kept South Carolina students on the road to success. Because arriving safely to school.
Innovation means developing novel therapies for patients today and taking the first steps toward life-changing discoveries decades in the future. At the Medical University of South Carolina, innovation is who we are.
Halftime from Patriots Point. It's 2-0 to the Charleston Batteries. They lead the Tampa Bay Rowdies through 45 minutes. Let's take a look at our scores around the league, presented by Charleston International Airport. With over 5 million passengers annually, your low country adventure begins at CHS. Some good games around the league tonight. 10-man Hartford currently on top of Oakland. That is part of the first 4 games to kick off this evening.
When you look at some of the other score lines, Indy 11 down to North Carolina FC. They go up in the 19th minute. And then we head out to Rhode Island. We've got Tulsa on the road, up a goal as well. We're getting down to the point of the season where every point matters, every result. That is so crucial at this time of the season. These are fine margins these teams are operating with, and we could be talking about points that put teams in the playoffs or missed points that are the reason teams miss the playoffs.
Yeah, every game today with playoff implications, and this is the late slate of games, plus tomorrow, Detroit-Louisville will be on ESPN2 at 3 Eastern.
That is a mouth-watering matchup as well in the championship, to have 1 versus 4 in the East. That being shown across the entire country nationally as well, and also Phoenix versus San Antonio FC on the Golasso Network as well. USL Championship, they are being seen everywhere across multiple different platforms around this country, and some really enticing matchups this weekend.
We are at the break here from Charleston. It is 2-0 in favor of the Battery.
Artur, ¿de qué maneras ayudaste en su momento a Fidel y ahora a SIC a convertirse, bueno, profesionales, dada tu experiencia, ¿no?
No, claro, creo que estamos en un lugar, una liga donde para los jóvenes no es tanto proceso para ellos. Aquí ya esta liga es donde tienes que llegar y literal entrar, demostrar. Sí, ya no hay más para atrás, ya no hay más errores, juega el mejor. Entonces creo que dado a eso, con mi experiencia de academia y todo eso, yo traté de darle todos los consejos que yo veía que necesitaba cambiar para que él pudiera estar donde él quisiera estar y para que nos ayudara. Entonces creo que mi rol ahí fue poder acomodar un poco con cositas a Fidel, ahora sí tratar de decirle qué movimientos hacer. Ese tipo de detalles creo que es muy importante nosotros como jugadores ya más grandes, tratar de apoyarlos en esos detalles que ellos todavía no ven.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it. We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Goodrum pounds this ball, and the boys in purple soaring.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. You're more than a superstar.
Halftime from Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. 2-0 in favor of the Charleston Battery as they lead the Tampa Bay Rowdies. News and notes from around the USL Championship, getting into the final month of the season. Charleston Battery, they're off to the playoffs, presented by Terminix. And how about Alex Tambakis as well, reaching 600 saves?
Well, Tambakis has been a fixture in this league for a long time. Normally, goalkeepers don't want to have to make as many saves as Alex Tambakis has, but yet he's been such a key figure what New Mexico United have done over the past several years, and he's been a prominent fixture within USL Championship for long enough to be able to set a record for himself. And, well, we alluded to it a moment ago, a new multi-year agreement with ESPN International, USL Championship, and USL League One on ESPN networks across Latin America. It's just getting brighter and brighter days ahead for the viewer at home to be able to watch the USL Championship, USL League One, and all the ancillary leagues anywhere around the world.
Let's take a look at the goal and save of the week from last week.
Forward to Francois. He has Below in support. It's Cristiano Francois. Below heading it home. The veteran sealing the points in a crucial clash. Romario Williams. Wait, does it again.
Some good goals and saves last week. This is what the team of the week looks like. Renato Ribeiro is the player of the week for Hartford.
Some familiar faces on there as well. Jack Gurr continuing to show up time and time again for the Republic. 7 assists on the season. Zach Ryan was a key figure in that win for Loudoun. You saw Florian Below take home the goal of the week, and Zach Ryan was a big part of that as well. And Sean Tosh entering into USL Championship lore for his mainstay ability with Louisville City, albeit with the tucked-in shirt and very fashionable sense as well, that he's been doing his business for the better part of a decade now. And this group, littered with Loudoun United players, they picked up a big win.
Well, we are at the break from Charleston. A big second half on the way. Can the Rowdies get back into it, or will Charleston hold on for 3 points? Second half is coming up.
We live in one of the driest cities in the nation. Let's live in the desert, not in denial. Saving water is desert living. Do your part to conserve water. Visit snwa.com.
As a Great Clip Salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Yeah, let's redo the basement.
Hello, home movie theater.
Spare bedroom.
Why not both? Use the U.S. Bank mobile app to apply for a home improvement loan. It's easy.
Wonderful, Alex.
Hey, that's what U.S. Bank is for. Anything else?
How about a loan for a bigger car? Our family is growing.
Oh.
Yeah, my brother's moving in with his 5 dogs.
Oh.
Heyo!
And we're expecting.
Ah.
Expecting what?
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together.
All right, team. I'm not angry. I want to know who broke this. I want to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. We found this tangled up in the transfer rollers. Who did this?
AIS is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas Lights Football Club.
We live in one of the driest cities in the nation. Let's live in the desert, not in denial. Saving water is desert living. Do your part to conserve water. Visit snwa.com.
First half highlights, Charleston and Tampa Bay clashing tonight at Patriots Point, and early on it was all Charleston.
Coming off a 2-0 loss to the Colorado Switchbacks, they needed a response, and the Battery, well, 5 minutes inside, they got that. This was a fantastic finish. Juan David Torres with a tremendous finish. His ability to keep his body under control as he's able to strike that to the back post was the reason the Battery got off to a dream start at home, and while they continue to push forward, MD Myers alongside Nick Marcanic has constantly been a threat throughout the course of the evening. This opportunity was turned away, and ultimately it took a little bit of time, but through Rivera on the far side for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, they finally started to get their opportunities, and ultimately this was a tremendous save from Adam Grimwis.
34th minute, the pressure just kept on coming, and eventually Charleston would break through for another, and we thought that would have been a spectacular way to do it.
Oh man, we were almost treated to a bicycle kick for history, or the 26th goal, the record-setting goal within a season in regular season play, but we didn't have to wait very long. This was the moment. The ball is going to find its way back to Marcanic. All alone in the box, squares his hips up, takes that extra chop step to be able to get exactly where he wants to be, and he's going to strike through this so cleanly. Expert precision. And the smile on his face, and his teammates said it all. They understood what this moment meant. It's a personal achievement, but it happens because of the team, and that is a wonderful strike to cap off 26 goals in one season.
The halftime stats are presented by Heineken. Couple shots on target for Tampa Bay, but Charleston was the team on the front foot.
And to show you how efficient they were, you go even one step further. 2 goals on the scoreboard, but the expected goal total for the Charleston Battery is only .72. They're far exceeding that, meaning they're taking their chances. They're not easy opportunities, but yet Juan David Torres and Nick Marcanic have put them away. For the Rowdies, they've got to get more opportunities. They're just not doing enough inside the opposition box. Only 18 final third entries to the Battery's 33.
We are ready to go for the second half with Jamie Watson. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Here we go, 45 more minutes between the Charleston Battery and the Tampa Bay Rowdies, the no-quarter derby. Charleston has claimed the last 2 seasons of this rivalry. It goes by aggregate score, and right now that aggregate score is exactly even at 4-4. A little bit more of the play for than just the 3 points in the second half. How about another shot from outside the area? And it was Marcanic looking to add to his record.
At this point, it's all just pulling himself further and further away from the rest of the pack, and Marcanic, it's just a matter of when he's going to pull the trigger. As he's going across, he's waiting for the moment where a little pocket of space opens up, tries to go back against the grain, and truth be told, that was well covered, and that was probably going to be saved by far if that had been on target.
Simply, if you're Tampa Bay, how do you get back in this game?
For Tampa, it's about their ability to try to get on the ball in the middle of the field and be able to have line-splitting passes The only time Tampa ever really seemed to generate anything in the first half was in transitional counterattacking moments. You've got to be able to pick up some second balls, and when that happens, play the way you're facing immediately to keep possession.
Here's Leland Archer. That back line back to what we've seen it throughout most of this season. Juan David Torres couldn't collect it out of the air. And Charleston cheaply gives it away. A throw-in coming for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, which is 2 wins over their last 8 games. That Pittsburgh win coming from behind last week ended a 2-game losing streak. I guess that's something that they've done decently well, is coming from behind. Not that they want to be in those positions, but they've gotten themselves out of those positions a few times this year.
What that tells me is Tampa Bay have a resilient mentality placed by head coach Robbie Nielsen to be able to find a way back into games. The next goal is so crucial in this matchup. Tampa Bay need to try to be able to press for the first 5-10 minutes, get some opportunities, and force Charleston out of their comfort zone, which has been passing the ball in the middle of the park and connecting and making Tampa Bay chase.
3 wins this year for Tampa Bay when trailing at the break. For Ben Pierman, they're looking for home win number 12. The best home goal difference at +32. Put up 6 goals a couple of times here on their home field this year against Western Conference opposition in Orange County and Las Vegas. A foul here with Bodley going down. A free kick back to the Rowdies. Tampa Bay failed to score a first half goal now in 19 of their 29 games. Only Birmingham have failed to score more often in a first half, but that partners well with what Charleston has done. They've stopped the opposition from scoring a first half goal in 20 of their 30 games. That's more than any other team in the league. Again, broken up in the middle. Ben Bender couldn't keep it. Now he's wrestling back Jay Chapman, and a free kick going to the Battery.
Coming into tonight, we talked about the importance of Nick Marcanic for the hosts and for the visitors, Tampa Bay Rowdies. We talked about Manuel Arteaga and his ability to get on the ball and create. In the first 50 minutes of this match, Arteaga has 18 touches. For Marcanic, he's got 32. One center forward nearly doubling up the other, and it's no coincidence that Charleston have turned their touch advantage and their ability to keep the ball into more touch for their center forward in a 2-goal lead. Arteaga has to get on the ball more often for Tampa Bay.
Trying to connect with Marcanic. Now it's MD Myers. Myers weaving through. He couldn't get the shot away. It doesn't matter. The flag was up for offside anyway. The duo still trying to break a goal scoring record for most combined goals by a duo in championship history.
This was a lovely bit of individual skill from Myers, just the patience. He's trying to find a half of a step to be able to get an effort off. There was a delayed offside that was called. It was very delayed. That's why Myers was turning around looking, saying he wasn't the culprit, but it was in the build-up before.
Rivera down the line. Nate Worth onto it. Met by Leland Archer, who calmly plays it back for Adam Grinwis.
Myers is in if this goes quick.
There's Marcanic. Marcanic leading the break. Plays in MD Myers. There was some contact away from the ball. Referee says nothing and play on. Neon Gabiri now for Arteaga. Heavy touch in the middle allowed Juan David Torres to go to ground and try to win it back, but it's deflected away. Rivera. Damian Rivera deflected. And Leland Archer gets it away.
Neon Gabiri in that previous attack for the Battery absolutely got away with pulling down one of the Battery attackers. And That should have been a foul. It should have been a booking for Nian Gabiri, yet a referee just didn't see it.
Doherty play it through the lines. And Tampa Bay finally getting some time on the ball. That's out of play. Now goes back to Charleston. Even with a little bit of this possession in the second half, the Rowdies haven't made much of it. Loaded upfield, Bender and nod it forward. Archer comes over to take it. Moves it back upfield. Going back to Charleston, and it seems like they're keeping Tampa Bay at arm's length right now.
Better pressure from Tampa Bay. This is where you have to win it on these passes that pop up and you retain possession. This is better from Tampa Bay.
Here's Lewis Hilton and Pacific Nian Gabiri. Floated forward again. Deflected out of play. That's well done. It's a goal kick. Battery have a brand new look on and off the field this year thanks to Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new Battery gear, including the custom 2024 kits, by visiting shop.charlestonbattery.com. Grenris restarts things for the Battery. 2 first-half goals, including Nick Marcanic's record-breaking goal. 26 goals in a single season is a USL Championship record. This is moved ahead. Low shot. Arteaga taking that on and had it blocked. Graham Smith going to ground. On the turn.
Oh, no look from Juan David Torres.
Torres right through the middle. This will be taken by Jordan Farr. I don't know about you, but I'm going to remember the 21st night of September, Jamie.
Oh, that's a good pop culture reference. I bet Nick Marcanic does as well, too.
Had to get it in there.
History made, and now that song stuck in my head. Thank you.
You are welcome. Here's Lewis Hilton. Tampa Bay trying to make this a memorable night as well. Got back in fields. Nian Gabiri. Nian Gabiri's shot blocked. Damian Rivera. Again serves it in. Leland Archer the header away. As far as Lewis Hilton. And over the bar. No deflection on it. Goal kick.
Better from Tampa Bay. Their ability to go and continue to press and pick up the second ball. Lewis Hilton had one thing on his mind as soon as it's bounced, but because there's pressure, he's having to catch this as the ball's bouncing upward. If there was no pressure from the Battery, he would have waited for that to start to come down on the downward trajectory before he strikes it. That's the fine margin as a defender. Even though you don't win it, you press enough to be able to force that shot to go quicker than the midfielder would have hoped.
Now Charleston trying to move upfield again with MD Myers. Myers driving forward. Going to center this ball for Juan David Torres. Charleston couldn't keep it.
Good stop.
Segber's showing that aggression again that Ben Pierman talked about. We've seen it a few times tonight. Arturo Rodriguez delivers back post. Farr came to claim it, and now he makes another save on the shot from Dos Santos. Well off his line.
Watch Farr as he takes this angle. If he doesn't come out, if he even hesitates, this is a tap into the back post for Marcanic. Does ever so well, and then he's not in the position he wants to be, but he pops up quickly, and he's able to put himself in that line of the effort from Dos Santos. Good alert goalkeeping to hop up.
Infield, Chapman. A two-man game with Juan David Torres. Torres sends it infield. Tries to play it towards goal. Myers has it touched out of play. A corner kick coming. Freddie Kleeman there defensively for the Rowdies.
Jordan Forrest trying to say there was a kick out from MD Myers at the end of the play. Myers has such a knack of being able to get on the end of this and to be able to try to win the ball. There was a tiny bit of a kick out from MD Myers, but nothing cynical and nothing malicious.
It's a Pepper Law Firm corner kick on the way. Juan David Torres touches it infield for Arturo Rodriguez. The return ball for Torres from a different angle, tried to take that strike on and had it blocked out of play. Battery with the most clean sheets in the USL Championship at 13. They had 13 all of last season. That was tied for 4th in the league. Second most goals, the best defenses in the league as well. That's why they are one of the top teams in this league, if not for Louisville City. Coming upfield, a challenge put in. Segber's sliding in and into the referee's book.
Segber's understanding that he's got to try to win this ball, or he's got to be able to bring down Bodily. Can't let the counterattack continue on. There was an honest effort to go for the ball, but Segber's just a half of a millisecond too late on that. Bodily wins the foot race, wins the free kick, wins a booking for Mark Segber's.
Will put it back in play.
See, even that free kick, you play a teammate under pressure, he comes back to you, you're under pressure, and all of a sudden Tampa Bay go from a free kick in their opposing half to all the way back to their goalkeeper and putting themselves under pressure again to lose the ball.
They do lose it again. MD Myers. Myers tries to square it. It's Marcanic. Marcanic scores! It's the Nick Marcanic Show! A record-breaking night and a brace on top. 3-0.
This goal is indicative of how the Battery have operated all season. They work together to win the ball back. And then from there, MD Myers, the unsung hero up top, does ever so well to be able to find Nick Marcanic. Everything he touches turns to gold. For the 27th time this season, Marcanic just gives himself a little bit of room, confidently strikes it to the far post, low and hard, goes between the legs of the defender as he reaches. And it's all smiles, it's all good. 3 goals to the good for the Battery, 2 for that man, Nick Marcanic, on a record-breaking night. 27 goals, and you just start to wonder, how high can it go for Nick Marcanic?
That dazzling play is brought to you by Diamonds Direct. 27 goals for Nick Marcanic, and with that goal, the duo of MD Myers and Nick Marcanic have set a goal-scoring duo record in the USL Championship, breaking the regular season record of 39 set by Solomon Asante and Adam John in that magical season with Phoenix Rising in 2019. Now a yellow card to Nate Worth. And this is really spiraling out of control for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
The youngster Nate Worth, he is just a little bit late, 17 years old. He's got a ton of experience playing in his 17th game this season for the Rowdies in the regular season of the championship, but right now they're just lacking some veteran presence to be able to get on the ball. You have that with Lewis Hilton, but Nate Worth, as incredible of a talent as he is, these are the kind of games where he's going to get a lesson about how to be able to play at a high level. It's on the night, it's not going particularly well for the Rowdies in the middle of the park, which was their key to the match, to be able to try to be able to get into any sort of position to dictate the pace. But that is a night in which the Battery have just been too good in all facets of the game, particularly in the middle. Worth will be better for this performance, but that tackle is just kind of sums up how the night has gone in the middle of the park for the entire collective of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And for Nick Marcanic, his 6th game this season, which he has scored multiple goals. Here he comes again. He's already scored a couple hat tricks this year. This is played through and taken by Jordan Farr. It just makes sense that that goal was assisted by MD Myers. That is his 3rd assist on the season. Myers with 13 goals. He had 19 last year, won the Golden Boot with NYC FC2 and MLS Next Pro. Here comes Pacific Neon Gabiri for Tampa Bay. Marcanic wins it back. Even showing his defensive responsibilities as Graham Smith just stumps it out of play. There are subs readying for the Rowdies. Leo Fernandez along with Zane Bubb will enter. Fernandez, who scored the game-winning goal last week for the Rowdies in the 2-1 come-from-behind win against the Riverhounds. Players coming out, Ben Bender and Damian Rivera, the 2 loanees, will exit.
Rivera was really good in the first half, just couldn't get anything going in the second half, much like the rest of this group. And this is a substitution. You get some fresh legs on, but this is a roll of the dice from Robbie Nielsen to try to get something from this group, some sort of response. It just hasn't been there all night for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And for Leo Fernandez, he has now tied the modern era club record for appearances in all competitions with Georgi Hristov, 173rd appearance for the Rowdies tonight. Nate Worth, the delivery for Arteaga was met there by Graham Smith, and out for a corner kick, a Pepper Law Firm corner kick.
There's some of the brilliance that the 17-year-old Nate Worth has. This is a well-weighted, inch-perfect pass. Smith just comes over and times his intervention really well. Nate Worth is tasked with taking the corners and some of the set pieces for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They rate him highly and think he has an incredibly high future. Tonight, when everything isn't going well in the run of play, these set pieces are the opportunity for the Rowdies to get back into it.
In-swinging ball, put into a dangerous area. Nobody in a green shirt could come to meet it. And Lewis Hilton tracks it down at midfield.
Tampa Bay have so many numbers forward. There is a counterattack on for the Battery if they want to go quickly.
Torres able to find an outlet with Marcanic.
Good recovery from the Rowdies. Just heard Ben Pierman give a shout. Tampa's playing in a 3-5-2 now.
Dos Santos trying to turn the corner, gets the cross away. MD Myers saved. Quick strike, now it's Torres wide. The shots just keep on coming from the Battery.
Watch how clever this turn is. MD Myers is going to sell like he's going back, and then he cuts. Does ever so well to be able to get away from Kleeman. Better believe Myers wants to get on the score sheet. Torres has. Marcanic has. Myers wants to.
Weave through, advantage being played. Here's Leo Fernandez for Tampa Bay. Segbers. Now Allen for Rodriguez. These midfielders for Charleston, it always feels like they can just solve problems and get out of tight spaces. Here's a whistle, and I wonder if the referee will go back and give a yellow card for that challenge a moment ago.
That was right on the edge, and if it would have happened, been any complaints. Now we're getting to that point of the match where you start to look at the bench for Charleston and you're wondering, I think it's a matter of when, not if we're going to see Aaron Malloy make his return from a knee injury, and already starting to look at maybe some of the other options on the bench as this game starts to get to the last 20+ minutes or so. There's a 16-year-old Vigo Ortiz on the bench as well. Could be making his debut as well for the host tonight.
Aaron Malloy, who got injured in the game against the Tampa Bay Rowdies back on July 27th. And has not played since. He was on the bench against Sacramento Republic on September 7th. Unless this is deceiving me, he picked up a yellow card in that game on the bench. I have to confirm that.
He's competitive even when he's not on the field. That's what that tells me.
Trying to play this ahead. Mechanic went down, no whistle. With the Battery schedule coming up, they don't play again until October 5th. And it was Ben Pierman telling us that he wants to get Malloy on the field to get a few minutes if it makes sense tonight. Cal Jennings just tried to continue that run forward. Grinwis played that off his chest somehow, and he'll start it again from the back for Charleston.
I liked what I just saw as Archer ran by Jennings, the two that just went into a heavy collision. Both players stuck a hand out to give each other a little bit of a dap, a little bit of love. Players just going for it and then showing respect for each other afterwards. Well done.
There's Hilton getting away from Chris Allen. Two very experienced USL Championship midfielders. Advantage being played. Here's Neon Gabiri. Fernandez turns it back for Hilton. Low driven ball across for Bodley. Bodley serves it in, the header away.
Better from the Rowdies. Good sustained pressure. You continue to move the ball quickly.
Pressure by Charleston trying to speed Tampa Bay up, and now a whistle to stop play, and Bodley is down for Tampa Bay. This is interesting now. 20 minutes to go. Robbie Nielsen has used 2 substitution windows already. He's made 3 subs. He would have to make his final 2 subs in this window if he wants to use all 5. It appears there will be a couple of subs made here. First sub is Joshua Perez entering for Nate Worth, and Aaron Guillen will also be entering. And it is Blake Bodley who will be exiting the field. So that is it for subs tonight for Tampa Bay. Guillen, who's in his 5th season with the Rowdies. Such an experienced player in this league. 2022 USL Championship Best 11 player. The year before that was on the 2nd Best 11 team. He's making his 26th appearance for the Rowdies this season. Has been on the bench though, or started on the bench, and has not come into the game in 2 of the last 3 games. Here's Joshua Perez. The delivery coming in. Nodded forward by Doherty, and now Cal Jennings with the outside of his foot, but taken by Grinwis. Just looking ahead at the Charleston Battery schedule, 3 of their final 4 will be at home. The only road match will be at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Never an easy place to go. If all goes according to plan, I think Ben Pierman would like to get on a plane exactly 2 more times. To Pittsburgh and to Louisville in the Eastern Conference Final, and then hopefully they can host the final again. I think that would be going according to plan, according to Ben Pierman.
Well, I might throw a wrench in that plan and say, maybe Ben Pierman's plan has an upset in there along the way. Yeah. They don't have to go on there, but you're right. At most 2 more trips. That would be the alternative and probably most likely outcome with the way Louisville has been all season.
A triple sub coming. Prince Sadie, Emilio Akaza, and Jackson Conway will be entering. Juan David Torres coming off the field. Arturo Rodriguez coming off as well. MD Myers, his night is over as well. Triple sub in the first substitution window utilized.
Myers won't get a goal tonight. He does get the assist on Mark Canic's goal, but that was a really, really good shift that MD Myers put in. He just continues to form that partnership that set a record tonight. That has been a big key element to success for Nick Marcanic, has been the work rate of MD Myers and playing off of him to create opportunities. And with Myers being so efficient in front of goal all season, it's also just given more space and less defenders being drawn towards Marcanic.
Tampa Bay on the move. Diangabiri ahead for Fernandez. Fernandez gets end line, rolls it in field. It's Cal Jennings, and he skies it. And that sort of sums up the night for the Rowdies.
Watch Jennings' movement to be able to get back into position, but once he gets set, he needs to then lean forward as he's striking this. You're going to be able to see him get to the position. He's there. This is the great movement. Set, lean forward into it. But instead, he set his feet and he started the swing, and his body was out of control as he did it. If he is there and able to lean forward, he can keep that down and keep that on target.
Prince Sadie. Jay Chapman moves it across.
As much as we talked about the midfield for the Rowdies, not quite doing enough, it's really been because of Chapman and Allen, how good they've been.
Some contact, but no whistle. And Tampa Bay will carry on back the other way, and that hit the 2 and the 6 on the back of Cal Jennings. $14 shots to 8 in this game for Charleston. 18 to 15 in terms of touches in the opposition box. Charleston has been efficient with their opportunities, held on to 60% of the ball as well. Sadie loves to run at defenders. He'll do that here. Prince Sadie with the curling effort just wide. Had eyes for that far post.
This pass that finds its way out to Sadie, next level to be able to split the lines. Then Sadie is able to make Perez backpedal. Once Perez is in his own penalty spot, that's when it's the worst position to be for a defender. Your attacker's running at you full speed. You're inside your own box, so you can't dive in and overcommit. There was a moment there where both Sadie and Perez were turning and looking. Jordan Farr in there as well to see if that was going to curl into the far post or not.
USL Championship Soccer continues on the ESPN networks with a matchup of top teams from the Eastern Conference. Detroit City takes on Player Shield leader Louisville City tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Turned over. Ikaza is played behind Prince Sadie. Ben Bierman has talked about the interesting position that Charleston is in right now. 10 points clear coming into tonight of Tampa Bay. That'll be 13. And they're a few points behind Louisville, but Louisville's 2 games in hand. And with the pace that they are earning points at, it doesn't seem like Charleston is going to catch up. That's not to say they shouldn't be rooting for Detroit City tomorrow, but they're in this weird spot where it doesn't seem like they're going to be catching Louisville. Doesn't seem like anybody's going to catch them from behind. So how do they stay where they need to be?
Charleston will essentially be playing against themselves and battling if they can have consistency to see this season out. You've astutely put it, their position is pretty much solidified. Very rare that that happens with this many games left, that the second place is more than likely locked up. But with that, Charleston needs to now find a rhythm in which they enter the playoffs feeling as though they are peaking. Performance like this is great, but it's only great if you compound it with another good performance that's similar to this one. And if you can do that, then that's how you start to peak, when you can't change your standings in the regular season, but you can change your mentality and your confidence into the playoffs.
In the live standings, it's a 3-point gap between Louisville and Charleston. Charleston, because they play today in Louisville tomorrow, it's 3 games in hand for Louisville at the moment. Kaza was tripped up. The referee will bring this back for a free kick. And a yellow card is coming out. Joshua Perez into the book.
It's the right decision from a referee to stop the promising attack. It was a tactical foul from Perez, and he understood exactly what was going to happen when he did it.
Just to finish up that conversation about the standings, right now Tampa Bay 4 points clear with 1 more game played. In 4th place, Detroit City. We talked about it in the open, but this could be a playoff preview in the 2nd round if things stay as they are in the standings and both Charleston and Tampa Bay win their opening round playoff match. Guillen, advantage played, and now a foul against Cal Jennings. And this is a very welcome return coming for the Charleston Battery. Aaron Malloy is back on the field tonight for the Battery, his first game since July 27th, out with a knee injury. A big brace on his knee a few weeks ago. Going through warm-ups, though, before the game against Sacramento. He will come on to replace Jay Chapman, and a good ovation from the crowd.
Fantastic 80 minutes for Jay Chapman, and fantastic for Battery fans to see arguably one of the best all-around players in the entirety of the USL Championship, Aaron Malloy, make his return from injury, starting to get the confidence back, starting to get the match fitness back as this team starts to gear up towards the playoffs. Aaron Malloy could be a big reason the Battery have hopes to be able to make a deep run in the playoffs this season.
It's played out wide for Aaron Guillen. Stays in play. Grenoble decided to stay on his line. Played out to midfield. Malloy also back-to-back USL Championship first-team performances over the last 2 seasons. Perez lasers this in, and it's 1 goal back for Tampa Bay. Freddie Kleeman on the board for the Rowdies. His first goal of the season. It's 3-1.
Center back or center forward? On a night when nothing is going well for the attacking players, leave it to a center back to score a spectacular goal. His momentum is going away, so watch how he's able to get his hips around. The pace comes from the cross, so Kleeman is just trying to get the angle right. He's trying to have it hit his foot exactly where he needs to, and he executes it to perfection. A wonderful finish from Freddie Kleeman.
Kleeman, his first goal for the Rowdies this season. His second year with Tampa Bay. 2 years before that, spent time on loan with Birmingham from Austin, where he was drafted. He played his college soccer at the University of Washington. No clean sheet tonight now for Charleston. Not only is that Kleeman's first goal this season, that is his first pro goal. It's quite a goal to score for your first pro goal.
My goodness. That was spectacular from Kleeman. Been in that position many times as a former attacking player. I can't even begin to describe how difficult that is to be able to contort your body going away from goal. Goodness. Not be a night to remember as far as team performances, but Freddie Kleeman will remember that goal very fondly.
The back heel to spring Prince Sadie forward. Jackson Conway. There's also Nick Marcanic, but Sadie took it himself.
Oh, you can't look off Marcanic. Sadie did everything so well. Then that's where you got to be unselfish, and you got to be able to slip in Marcanic at the top, where he was the extra number in the 3-on-2. Sadie sells this ball. Now watch at the top of your screen. There's the overcommitment. Just slip it through. Bob has come all the way over for the Rowdies. Marcanic is standing at the top of the box wondering what's he got to do, and he's still having a conversation with Sadie. Look at Marcanic. He's still giving him a shout.
You think he doesn't want a hat trick? I mean,
look, I will never fault a forward for wanting to score a goal, ever. But Sadie has to pick his head up and understand that that's why in a 3-on-2 you wait to see what the defenders do. They overcommitted.
Get into the corner. Here's Sadie again. Sadie plays it back post. Snapped header away as far as Dos Santos. Here's Marcanic. Marcanic delivers, and Farr has to dig that one out. Perez. Broken up, and now it's Sadie. Gonna come in field, and nothing doing for Sadie. Weaving through again, Kleeman trying to start something. Fernandez for Arteaga. Now for Joshua Perez, cross back post, header out of play. This looks a little bit better from Tampa Bay.
It's been a good response. They waited about 75 minutes to be able to finally put together some really dominant performances where they've collectively been the better of the two teams. Tampa Bay has always been a team that gets their biggest threats from wide areas where they like to provide services. Hasn't been as sharp tonight with those services, but that was a better looking attempt, better looking effort in the build-up.
Grinwis wearing that pink goalkeeper kit. The Men Wear Pink campaign in the month of September for the Battery. Another turnover, Perez. Quick passing from Charleston to play out of trouble. Ikaza. Now Jackson Conway. Long switch of play. Headed out of the path of Marcanic, but he'll track it down anyway. A throw in coming for the Battery. And now a coming together here. Ikaza getting tangled up along with Lewis Hilton. Referee has his yellow card out. Yellow card to Emilio Ikaza.
Take a look and see as Ikaza felt he got fouled. And it was a combination of Ikaza rushing Hilton, Hilton pulling him down with him.
I'd be with the double yellow.
I think you either go double yellow or you go no yellows, either way. I think that was more helped effort from Hilton on the way down from Ikaza than him just sticking his head down and running independently of it. Felt as though there was maybe a foul even in the build-up on Ikaza. It went the other way and the booking went that way.
Going to touch this around the corner, and it's another free kick coming for Tampa Bay. One more and this game gets a little interesting.
Weeman is another player to watch on these, along with the service coming in. You got Arteaga as another player that is a target for these balls that are whipped in by Hilton. What I like to see Hilton do is curl this in, try to get that to bounce on target if possible. That way you get runners going across the face of Grenwis.
Hilton delivers and couldn't get it by the first man, but it's cued out for a Pepper Law Firm corner kick. Another chance for Hilton to deliver. It's an in-swinger right on top of Grenwis, bouncing around and saved off the line. It's not completely gone, but now Charleston a chance to run with Marcanic. Perez from his backside, bumped by Marcanic. Now the challenges are starting to fly in this game. Players down. And the referee trying to get everybody away.
Ben Pierman is having a conversation with Robbie Nielsen and saying Guillen did the same thing earlier. This is what the argument is about. It's just afterwards with Malloy, who comes in with a hard challenge. That should be a booking on Malloy for the challenge after the ball, but he's not going to get one. Ikaza got one the other way. Malloy doesn't. That's a bit inconsistent.
Hilton again on the free kick. Lofted upfield, the header to come centrally. Ikaza gets it out. Guillen sending it skyward again. Nodded down and then swept out of play. For as much control as Charleston has had in this game, this is a nervy finish right now.
I was just thinking it hasn't been clean in the final 15 minutes or so from the Battery. They've just been too lackadaisical. They got a goal scored. They looked unconvincing in seeing this out.
4 minutes of stoppage time to close this out. And Robbie Crawford will be entering to help see this one out. Coming off the field is Nick Marcanic. He doesn't really get his ovation because he goes off in the far corner, but what a night for Nick Marcanic, a record-breaking night. Cut this infield, it's out for a Pepper Law Firm corner kick. Rowdies fans behind the goal looking for something to celebrate again here. Be a grandstand finish if they can convert this. Outswinging ball, heads go up, Bub nods it down and out of play. For the Rowdies coming up, their next game at home against Hartford. And then it's a 2-game road swing, Rhode Island and Louisville, before they finish out the season at home against North Carolina and Indy. Every one of those teams in the playoff picture right now. Tampa Bay trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. Trying to keep them at home for as long as possible. Conway goes down. Free kick Charleston. There will be no rush to take it. See Marcanic bottom of your screen. And some congratulations from the coaching staff. Devin Rensing, Tim Daniels, Brian Jones. Support staff as well. I like this week on social media, the equipment teams from all different sports getting some recognition on social.
The unsung heroes. There's a lot of people that put a lot of hard work into it. This week it was the kit crew that was getting their love on social media. There's so many different pieces to the puzzle within an organization that make a game day possible. Game day staff, intern, volunteers, full-time staff, but normally it's the 11 players that get the plaudits and the praise. It takes an absolute village to be able to put together these type of game day atmospheres that we're seeing here tonight at Patriots Point and all throughout the league. It's really is a collective effort, and this is 2 of the better teams in the USL Championship that have put us to 2 wonderful displays of regular season matchups. Ian's gonna get card for something he said.
I think it's for persistent dissent.
Needless to say, this is a matchup that I think that we could be seeing later on down the road, maybe with the possibility of ticket to the Eastern Conference Final on the line. This looks like this could be the 2-3 matchup if everything holds serve. I don't feel like we've seen the last of the Battery versus the Rowdies in 2024.
Pepper Law Firm corner kick as we're nearly done with MUSC Health Sports Medicine stoppage time. It's out for a goal kick. Game's been a bit chippy at the end. I wonder if we'll remember that one in a few weeks' time if we see this again. And that is full time. 3 goals and 3 points for the Charleston Battery as they get the win on a record-breaking night at Patriots Point.
It was a comprehensive performance, not complete, but comprehensive from the Battery. On a night when Nick Marcanic will get all of the plaudits, and rightfully so. Goal number 26 and 27 on the season. It was the Battery that did it in convincing fashion, and well, for the record-breaking goal, this is a wonderful representation of Nick Marcanic in front of goal. He's been spectacular, he's been consistent, and he's been lethal. This was number 26 to break the record. He would pad it to number 27 in the second half. A complete performance from Nick Marcanic, what we've come to expect for the 6th time this season. He bags multiple goals within a game. This one was the 3rd one. Of course, MD Myers has been a part of Marcanic's success all season. He plays provider on this one. And the night goes from good to great for Nick Marcanic, and he is the Heineken man of the match.
A Marcanic a brace, Marcanic into the history books, and he is only rewriting history at this point, up to 27 goals in this 2024 season. Chatting with Joshua Perez as well here post-game. We'll come back and wrap things up. The final score is brought to you by Wicked Weed. It reads Charleston 3, Tampa Bay 1.
For over 85 years, Labor's Local 872 and Las Vegas have teamed up to change the world of entertainment, sports, and economic development. Labor's Local 872 is a proud member of Team Vegas. From 1937 to today, Local 872 has been moving Las Vegas forward. Our members built the Hoover Dam Extension Bridge, finished City Center, expanded our roads, and made Vegas the biggest stage in sports. Vegas is ready. It's game time.
At Silver State Schools Credit Union, we help you celebrate life's little moments and guide you through the big ones. Earn 2% cash back on every purchase with our Cashback Rewards credit card.
Silver State Schools Credit Union, your financial partner for life.
Mi raza bonita. Desde 1991 hemos compartido nuestras tradiciones mexicanas.
Full time from Charleston, and the Battery win it by 3-1. The final score is presented by Wicked Weed Brewing. Nick Markanek, a record-breaking night. It is time for our full-time highlights. They are presented by Michelob Ultra, and it did not take long for Charleston to get on the board tonight.
No, it did not. The Battery needed a response after a disappointing loss to the Switchbacks last week. So Ben Pierman wanted a response from his side, and well, 5 minutes in, they get it. It's a fantastic finish. Juan David Torres gets his body sorted right, gets his feet sorted, and just a pile driver to the back post, 1-0. It was only a matter of when, not if, Nick Markanek was going to break the record. And then the 37th minute, the ball falls fortuitously to him, and there's nothing fortunate about this. That's purposeful, that's deliberate, that's exactly what he's meant. And for the 26th time, Nick Markanek finds the back of the net.
More chances coming for Charleston in the second half. Jordan Farr to be forced into some saves, but this was all Charleston until the end when Tampa kind of got back into this game, but there would still be more.
There's still more. This is the one that makes it 3, and MD Myers is the one that creates this with his ability to hold the play up, cleverly get through 2 defenders, and then unselfishly square it across to his strike partner up front. So an hour in, it's 3-0, and you alluded to it. It took until the 81st minute for a center back to be able to come and do what the center forwards couldn't do tonight for Tampa, and that was provide some good movement and get on the end of a cross. That late arriving run, Freddie Kleeman, his first professional goal. My goodness, one to savor for a lifetime. That is a tremendous finish, no matter what position you play. Nothing more than a consolation goal, and the Battery for about 75 minutes, downright dominant. Just didn't see it out the way that they should have. And that'll be something to keep in mind because it was a good response from the Rowdies.
16 shots to 13 for Charleston, and they are 3 points more clear of the Tampa Bay Rowdies than they were at the beginning of the night.
There was a little something there at the end, though, from the Rowdies. The final 15 minutes, if they could have put that same sort of level of composure in the midfield, some passes together, maybe they could have caused some more problems for the Battery on the night. But again, the Battery just won the midfield battle. They controlled the pace of play. They dominated possession. That number is the highest it's been all evening for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And given the way the match went, it's no surprise they got more possession as the night wore on. But the Battery deserved all 3 points, and Nick Markanek deserves the record by himself.
That will do it for our coverage tonight from Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. A record-breaking night in the USL Championship as Nick Markanek writes his name in the record books. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Jamie Watson, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. It finishes Charleston 3, Tampa Bay 1. Good night from Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.